Well, today is day 71, January 3rd, after New Year's. As for the cab, I'm pretty much done doing Bondo. I did some Bondo work. All the metal work I did repair work, grinded it, flapper disc, all that. And then add Bondo, about 4 layers, like 4 different stages. Add Bondo, sand it, add Bondo, sand, just keep improving it. So it's good now. Done doing Bondo. I went down the 220 grit sand. That should be plenty. So all good there. And then I spray canned primer on, not brushed on. Did brush on over here. In some part of the video you can't see it. You can see the strokes, but texture wise it's not bad. I'm okay with it. But it's like here I sanded it with a sander. And then here I left it alone. So I'm trying to play with it how I like it. And here I'm okay with it, but you gotta add more layers of green. But then here it's okay. So the cab is ready for paint, except there's a few flaws. So I wanted my best to get in here and sand this, make it better. Back here, I don't really care. Pretty much from this point around and around the whole truck, you see. You hop in, you grab, you're seeing this area. Here, you ain't. So I can get away with that area. The floor, your feet are on all the time, so I don't care about the floor. Brush strokes are fine. But outside, it's got to be spray canned or just sanded down for the strokes. So that's that for the side of the truck. It's all good. Got these bolts all out except that one. And the other side, the middle is still busted inside. Here was good. I added Bondo because it's like concaved. On that side, it's like perfectly flat. But on this side of the truck, it's concave. Here, here, and here. You can still feel a little bit, but I want to at least get the worst of it. So I did that. A lot of Bondo. Fill that in, so I had to chisel that out. Here I made a note. Still gotta sand this edge, it bothers me. And then this little seam here, factory seam, well, it's filled in. So I gotta chisel that out, but to be honest, I kind of like it filled in. But that side's not filled in. So there's that to fight. And then like here I did test paint, just one can and spray canned, one layer. It's okay, but there's like these small cracks showing. These cracks are here way before I had the truck. One is painted blue, but they're like massive cracks all the way down. I know for a fact there's no Bondo right here. So it's cracks in the metal work. It's been sanded, it's been filled and sanded, but yet I'm still seeing cracks. And then over here in the middle, not much Bondo was used here, but a lot in this area here. Pretty much the hinges get fixed at some point. Put a plate here. There's like an 1/8 inch strap. Had to fill it in and then fill down here. But anyway, all that's fine. It's all smooth and all good. But right in the middle here, there's pinholes in the Bondo when sanding. So Dad's suggestion to get primer by the can and go down to the bottom of the can to find that nice gooey stuff and spread it inside. Let it soak inside the holes, let it dry, and then just sand it. That should fill it. And be primer. So that's my area there. And then down here, I'm doing my metal work. I did all my metal work on the truck and Bondo, I'm done. But this is the last spot to work on. I had to wait because I had to work on the dashboard. So I got the dashboard torn out. All the old wire harness removed. Found where one random wire went to. There's this control box up here. So there's that one loose wire that broke off. There's one of them, but there's still 2 random ones I can't figure out. But took pictures and everything. So that's that. Now I have back access to fix this hole on this side. So the way I'm going to go about fixing this, I'm going to do 3 stages. Talked to my metal body guy I usually go to, and I paid like $3 grand to him to TIG weld my 1949 pickup truck, to do a nice floor plan and custom parts you can't get anymore. cap corners, rockers, all that. And he's suggesting his way of doing things, but I don't have his tools. And I'm not bringing this to his shop 45 minutes away. So my way of doing this is to, right here, you have ductwork for your defrost. And so it's a separate system, and so I want to weld that up and then weld a plate across. That way now it's separate. Now it can flow nice, not leak out. That's first fix. Next fix is put a plate across, weld it and hammer it so it matches the curve here. And then the last step is vertical plate across, straight down to this curve. I gotta match the curve, mark it, and then cut it. Don't want to be too precise because I'm gonna put a bead, one single bead all the way down. Luckily it's nice, new steel, probably 1/8 inch plate. So it's gonna be nice and strong, easy to weld to, and then it'll be perfect. All this is kind of filled in, sort of, and then but sort of not here. So just doing it continuously. Alright, so that's my idea to fix that. We did get the windshield hinges off. The bolts got stuck, so we had to drill those out. Now it's coarse thread. I think it's 3/8, 16 thread. I think now. Good now, but I need to machine the holes on my hinge brackets now, since then that way I can have some slop, so they get all aligned perfectly. So, but on this one, it's a factory nut. The nut is loose inside. Here, it's like fixed, so I need to machine the holes bigger. Now, I never would have to remove the hinges if I didn't have to, because the pin was stuck, the pivot, the windshield. So at least it's off. I gave it to Grandpa over Christmas, and he got the pins pressed out with some torch, heated up the cast iron, 55-ton press, and pressed out the pins. And I had brand new pins in the box. So we're good now. Windshield can now pivot. So that's that area. Now before I move on, when I was working here, removing all these rusted parts, and the ductwork defrost is full of rust, full of leaves, sticks, and whatnot. I found a few surprises. We'll start off with a government-issued pen, Skillcraft, and this was like laying inside here. Keep in mind, when I was finding all this stuff, the hole wasn't that big. It was more like that big, so extra 1 inch smaller. So I found that. Took that out, and the next thing I found a little surprise, military surprise. So, found a bolt casing, shell. And I don't know guns. I've only ever shot a 22, a 12 gauge, hand cannon. That's about all I've ever shot in my life. So I don't really know weapons too much. But looking at the markings, still hard to read, but I kind of figured it out now. It's a 223 round or a 5.56 in the military. This is the civilian, so civilian round marked FC 223 REM. So Remington, I think. 223 Remington FC. Anyway, found that. I'm going to keep these two kind of with the truck as part of its little history for say. It's nothing, I guess the pen's the best thing I got for military, but hey, I'll keep it. I might repurpose the bolt for something on the dash. I don't know. Not sure. It's not military, but still hiding in the truck. So that's that. That's it for the dashboard. Nothing else new back here for a while, nothing new. And over here, I get the dashboard painted. So I stripped it all down. I didn't like full on restore it for say. This truck's military. Talking to a few military guys. I made posts on Facebook, on my personal Facebook, not the groups. And I'm already getting, say, criticism. It's like, you're doing a restoration to a truck that most people dream of doing because these trucks are so huge. You have tractors to lift engines out. Your cab is off. Your cab's on the lift, doing body work. Your chassis is fully stripped. You're doing a full resto pretty much, and yet you're going to half-fast on your dashboard. It's like I'm doing it right. I'm doing a full rebuild on the motor. I'm doing all that stuff, but yeah, I'm half-fasting on the dashboard. It's like, I could make it a little bit better. It's a lot better in blue. Now it's green. So at some point, the dashboard was hand painted, same as the gauge cluster. For me, I'm pleased with it. And majorly, it's data plates. It's all hidden up. It's like, how much dashboard are you going to see? Steering wheel's in the way. It's like, gun mount's going to go back on for the M16 eventually. Airsoft M16. It's like everything's covered up. I'm going to keep this off. That little preheat switch, I'm told never use it. Mine was never hooked up. I want to repurpose this area for all my modern 12-volt lights. So I have switches right there for all my lights. So that's be that. I did paint everything else. I still got to do like a second coat of paint on this. That second coat, then I ran out of paint. My next case is in the house, so I got to grab more cans out. So I still have to do the bottom half. Then I can start reapplying my data plates. But the glove box door, painted all, did that, did the edges, but I left the inside alone. 4H6088. That's my current 1983 VIN number to the truck. But this VIN number, we believe, is 1965, Kaiser. So I left this alone. Not many people open the dashboard. So it's kind of some history here. I'm going to leave it be. But all the rest of the markings on my truck, I kind of overpainted or sanded down. So I'm keeping that there. That's fine with me. Alrighty. So that's this. Gauge cluster. So I'm pleased with it. I'm fine with it. Yes, you can see some brush strokes in here. And all the weight lettering. I buffed it down the wire wheel, went all around the whole gauge cluster without removing the gauges. Buffed it up. So like I got the worst of the brush strokes out. Got rid of the white paint. So I painted green. I'm not seeing it bleed through. And then I redid the white lettering. Some old guys are saying, you don't need those white lettering. Just read the gauges. Well, you're driving the truck. It's a big truck. And I want to look at the gauges real quick and look back at the road. I want to find my air pressure real quick. Here. I want to look at my... It's like I have a quick glance of seeing white letter, gauge. Versus trying to hunt down the gauge. There's not many, I know. And eventually get used to it them all. So maybe... enjoy my truck for a while, actually understand the truck, and know where things are, and hey, it's memorized. Then I could probably pull the gauge cluster off and do a full strip and repaint this thing the way they all want it. So that's fine, and then by then I can erase and not put this on there. That was just pure green. Anyway, I did freshen up the little lights. So vinegar and a little SOS pad for say kind of buffed up them so it's more brighter at night. Did that. So that's the dashboard. That's the cab. The doors I gotta start working on 40 grit sand all the way up to about 100 grit. And the dad says roll primer on, let it dry, nice and thick coat of roll on primer, and then sand the primer down. Nice and smooth, say 200, 220 grit sand as well, and then apply their green paint. There's no need for Bondo. There's no dents in the doors, but there's like 5 layers of paint. This door is the worst. And just so many layers of paint. Hopefully the sanding, 40 grit all the way down the 100 some grit. Hopefully that's enough. But if it's not enough, then I have to roll primer on as like some kind of like filler, fill in all the layers, and sand that down. And it's all smooth, and we're good to go. So that's my idea with the doors. This is just a dusty process. I'm kind of putting it off. So that's this. this came in the mail today. This is from Memphis. And I ordered all new head gaskets, valve cover seals. We got rear main seal. We got little things for the injectors. Yeah, everything's here for a full motor rebuild. I'm not doing a full teardown for say. I bought a sharp block in Harrisburg. Simply that's all good to me. Have a good crank and good block. The heads are bad, so I need to pull my exhaust manifold off, turbo off, generator, water pump, my heads, and valve covers, air compressor, injector pump, all my injectors, injector lines. So all that needs to be stripped off and translated over my sharp block. Machine the heads and put those gaskets on. The short block, rear main seal, just replace it. I'm not running the risk. If it does go bad, I'm screwed. It's a whole hassle. Just do it. I'm probably going to do new freeze plugs. Just do them so I don't have to worry about it. I will be buying a new clutch plate from Memphis. Transmission, once it's off the motor here, and I drop the motor off next week with the short block and all the parts to the shop. That's gonna rebuild my motor for me, about $1,000. That's out of my hands. Then I can start tearing this down on the bench, and then evaluate what all the parts I need to order, get them ordered, and then rebuild this transmission. Probably the main shaft, 4th, 5th gear synchro, first and reverse gear. That's what I know I need for sure. So that's this deal. I ordered that box of parts from Memphis Equipment already. So this is my 3rd order from them. And Christmas time, I ordered that. And I used their 10% coupon. Great. But all of a sudden, I get a letter in the mail from the president of the company saying, "Oh, you're a new customer. You spent a good chunk of money already. Here's 10% off for being a new customer, for say." Great. But it ends at the end of this month. I have to call in for the order. Problem is, I looked at when I was buying all this. It's like, well, I have more money. Let's just buy up all the parts I need. And I bought kind of what I needed. It's like, I don't know what else I need. And now I have this coupon that expires. It's hard to find coupons at that place. And not that often they have a coupon. So it's like not like Kaiser Wheelies that has coupons every year round. So I know they have a clutch plate, so I'll order the clutch. But they don't sell any transmission parts. They're all on eBay. So I know I'll be ordering a clutch at least from them. That's all I know right now. And then I guess spare parts or LED light upgrades. I don't know with that coupon. So that's that. Alrighty, that's about it for my update here. To keep it short. But for one thing, since I just talked about Kaiser Wheelies, this company. So I made some reproduction dome lights for the interior of the cab. They're for Jeepsters, Commandos, Wheelies wagons, Wheelies trucks. 1940s, early 50s. 3D scanner, copied the original glass model, and went to school, redefined it, and then I modified it for more modern lights inside because it's glass originally. Now I'm making it out of plastic, so the density needs to be changed and all those tweaks. The local college helped me produce them for free for the first batch of 50. It was supposed to be 25, and the kid helped me out. So let's make 50. Use all your plastic you bought. All my spools. So 2 weeks later, 2 kilograms of plastic burnt on the printers. I made a batch of these parts. In total, I actually made 100, I believe. I shipped out 50 to the company Kaiser Wheelies. They bought them off me. Production cost is like $5-10 to make them. And I don't have an example in the garage. They're all in the house. But they're small, like 2 inches by 4 inches by 3/4 inches tall. I don't know, about that size. And yeah, like for me, cost to home less than $1.50 to make each. I'm selling them for $20, like wholesale price from Kaiser. $1,000 order for all 50 units. I probably profited $900, $950 total. And then I have not been on Kaiser's site since October, since I traded for this Deuce. So I've not been on their site buying parts. Like I'm bored just like a couple of days ago. It's like, I'm curious. Did they ever list my products I gave them? I haven't got no email since then. Since we shipped out the order, nothing. So I checked the website. Oh, I see it. It's marked up to half price, so it's $40 now. Like you can buy it for. Description says U.S. made, 3D printed. And so I was curious. I messaged the person I kind of sold them to, and he says, "Oh, we sold 3 parts so far." It's not a very big need of an item, but no one's reproducing these anymore. But these dome lights are used in 1950s Plymouth cars, sedans. So there's another market for it, but even that's even kind of limited. So it's not like a 1969 Camaro part. It's not that common. So, that's my first true product I recreated and market, and there's 3 sales. Well, I made a sale of 50 units, but anyway, there's that news for myself and previous subscribers that were my Willys Jeep of me. Now I'm in this Kaiser 6x6. All right, that's my update for you pretty much. I've just started watching Isaac. There's some YouTuber named Isaac that also has 2 Deuce and a halves as well. Just start watching him, watching his videos. So, anyway, it is 11:30 at night right now, Friday night. So the goal tomorrow is to fix that rust hole. That's the first goal tomorrow. I'm supposed to do it tonight, but I was on the phone for an hour and a half. And at that point, rocking chair by the wood stove, watch videos. No progress. But made some money yesterday. $400 plowing snow for all the neighbors. Today, another about $400 in plowing snow for neighbors. So that money's coming in to pay off these parts. Pay off the loan for my engine purchase. Well, the loan's for everything here. $5,000 loan. I'm probably at $3,500 to pay off, and like $1,000 I just made in 2 days. I'll help pay off more. Anyway, keep it short. Alrighty, that's all for this video. Alright.